uh, and that when there would be no Jews around and there were Roman musicians who had played with Jews or played for Jews, they would be the ones still perhaps remember some of the
Mhm.
tunes that had been lost. So I was fortunate to begin it early on that ethnographic research and used a lot of those melodies and some of the songs as the basis of my band, Hot Pastrami, that's been around since, I guess, technically 1982. Um, and also I had taken photographs as well. And that's right, in 1996, I was just finishing up my third documentary film, which was called Karpati, 50 Miles, 50 Years.
Right,
And
right.
so my first three documentary films, At the Crossroads, Jews in Eastern Europe Today, that was shot in 87 through 89. So really catching the last years of the East Bloc, the height of perestroika glasnost. And I used my violin and my interest in klezmer just to meet Jews and non-Jews. So basically, I was asking him the question. The film was, oh, here's this opening, this uh, the relaxing of the harsh Soviet era. What do you think about the future of Jewish culture, Jewish life, Jewish music? And that was interesting. And then, and I did that research, and I had actually um, interviewed for us in the film for 5 6 minutes. He's in the film. The Klezmer musician Leopold Kleinman Kozlowski. That was his actual name was Kleinman, not Kozlowski. He changed it because of the war. And I got such interesting feedback about the film. It did well, festivals, television, etc. But people said that guy Leopold Kozlowski, and I started thinking, oh, maybe I should. Everyone's talking about him, so I went back, did the film The Last Klezmer, and when people say, well, he's not the last, well, I said he's the last in the sense in Poland who grew up in the tradition. There was no revival. He breathed it. He grew up before World War II. And he was the last to really doing it in a big way, where there may be some small little town villages, musicians, or someone who occasionally took it out, the clarinet or whatever instrument, to play for fun. Yes, but he was doing it professionally. He was earning a living. And so that's why he was sort of that last klezmer of that era, having grown up in the 20s and 30s
So
and
that's what,
maturing.
so yeah, I think you talked about those travels, and that was
Right.
the
And then,
period
and then,
where you had done those travels.
right,
Do you
that came
remember
out in
anything else?
94.
Do you
And then
remember anything?
1996, and then
Yeah.
1996 was the Carpati film when I was brought to Wesleyan.
Okay. Right.
And that was
Right.
the film where I really delved into the Roma Jewish connection because I was in the Carpathian Mountains, met this Jewish man who had been an ice cream vendor, very lovely, sweet man, Zev Gaudinger, the protagonist of the film. And he was close to everybody because they said, who doesn't love the ice cream vendor in a town? So all the kids remembered it, and we went to, and he was friends with the Roma, and we went to their taverna, where they played and sing, and I got to meet these mostly men, a few
Uh-huh.
women,
Uh,
and ask them about Jewish music and history and klezmer and relationships. So you're right. So coming to the Wesleyan, I was able to talk about my experiences and how I took my findings
uh-huh.
and put it in books because I also had written books, but I also put it in other art forms. I guess that was what it is how one can take this klezmer research,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
whatever it is, but not only put it out in a research paper or a book. Nothing wrong with that, of course, beautiful things, but I also put it into music. I also put it into film.
Okay. Well, that's good. That really gives me a map of, where you were at the time. I mean, I'm just doing these really short, takes. And I'm glad, I was amazed that everybody was still alive.
Ooh, knock on wood.
Given that it's 30 years, that's no
Yeah,
joke. And
that's right.
and flourishing. And you seem to be flourishing too. So
I am. And like you said, it's interesting and where all of us are today in terms of that path, East European Jewish culture, Yiddish culture, klezmer, and
yeah,
beyond.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, it really is flourishing. There's so many young people, and they're so high level of skill and performance and
Absolutely.
research. So, yeah. So I guess it was a nice watershed moment. So that's why I thought it'd be nice to celebrate it.
No, I'm glad you're doing this. And
Yeah.
it was important that, thank you. Also, personally, I thanked you then, but I thank you 30 years later for having put the effort to get us all together because it will be remembered as an important conference.
Okay, great. Well, good to talk, and I'll hear more about you, no doubt.
Oh, for sure, Mark. All best
Take
to you and
care.
your family. Bye
Thanks.
bye. Sei
Bye-bye.
gesund. Bye bye.